choose our socks for success in all endeavors. Fortunes rises from the heel, and good luck for life.
Good morning, this is Qingqiao information of Thursday, May 8, 2025. Moment of enlightenment. Under the pine and cypress, no grass grows. The shade of the strong offers shelter but also creates a monopoly over survival resources. True civilizational progress lies not in felling giant trees, but in balancing tall pines with resilient grasses. Today in history, 231 years ago, Lavoisier, the father of modern chemistry, passed away. On May 8, 1794, moments before the guillotine fell, he was still confirming pulse experiment data with his assistant. This scene symbolizes the highest form of scientific spirit, the pursuit of truth undeterred by life and death. As he wrote in Trait Elementaire de Chimie, nature neither creates nor destroys any substance, and with his life, he affirmed another law of conservation: humanity's pursuit of reason will never be extinguished. Welcome to Qingqiao Information. Albanese re-elected as Australian PM. Background. 1. Albanese was born in Sydney in 1963 into a poor family and completed an economics degree at the University of Sydney with a scholarship. He was elected to the House of Representatives in 1996, served as Minister of Infrastructure from 2007 to 2013, and promoted the National Broadband Network Plan. He became leader of the Labour Party in 2019 and was elected Prime Minister in May 2022, becoming the first Australian Prime Minister from a working-class background. 2. The Australian economy is under multiple pressures. Inflation remains high at 5.2%, household debt has reached 120%, and the real estate market continues to decline, with the national median house price rising to $920,000 Australian dollars. Additionally, 60% of export revenue relies on mineral resources, while industrial upgrading is slow. Australia now faces a critical turning point, urgently needing to balance short-term livelihood support with long-term economic transformation. Qingqiao's view. The life trajectory of this Prime Minister, who rose from Sydney public housing, reflects the deep contradictions in Australia's development. As 5.2% inflation erodes household income and a 120% debt ratio crushes middle-class dreams, Albanese faces not just policy choices but a challenge to the nation's development model. His unique value lies in understanding grassroots anxiety and having governance experience in infrastructure. The direction of his policy, whether to rely on the comfort of the resource economy or endure the pain of building an innovation ecosystem, will determine if Australia can leap from a lucky country to a smart country. This reform may prove even harder than his own rise from public housing to the Prime Minister's office. See drone downs fighter jet for first time. Ukraine's Ministry of Defense main intelligence directorate announced that a Russian Su-30 fighter jet was destroyed by a missile launched from a maritime drone. This marks the first time globally that a fighter jet has been shot down by a maritime drone. Professional popular science. 1. Maritime drones are intelligent unmanned ships that can operate autonomously or remotely, with both military and civilian applications. Their core advantages include a cost that is only 1/1000th of a warship, ranging from $100,000 to $1 million. They are small, highly stealthy, and capable of carrying explosives for swarm-style suicide attacks. 2. Fighter jets are high-speed military aircraft primarily designed for air combat, with ground attack capabilities. Modern models typically feature supersonic cruise speeds, stealth, and electronic warfare capabilities. Their high cost and powerful attack capabilities reflect the extreme limits of speed and firepower. Qingqiao's view. Ukraine, despite being inferior to Russia in weapons and equipment, chose cost-effective and small maritime drones, frequently harassing the Russian Black Sea Fleet. This battle exposed the vulnerability of traditional military powers. Expensive, sophisticated heavy equipment became white elephants in the face of cheap, intelligent maritime swarms. Similar to how Mongolian light cavalry defeated European heavy armored knights, the balance of war always favors innovators. On the new battlefield dominated by AI and unmanned equipment, the advantage is shifting from scale to algorithm. Indonesia cuts spending to prioritize public welfare programs. Indonesian President Prabowo recently ordered cuts in government spending in areas such as infrastructure and tourism to reallocate more funds to priority livelihood projects, including free nutritious lunches for children. Background. According to the latest data from the Indonesian Statistics Bureau, Indonesia's economy grew by 4.87% year-on-year in the first quarter, shrinking by 0.98% from the fourth quarter of the previous year. This is the lowest growth since the third quarter of 2021. Qingqiao's view. As growth figures give way to children's lunches, this archipelago nation is trading short-term GDP for more valuable social capital. At the crossroads of resource dividends and human capital, Prabowo's decision reveals a truth: real development is not about speed, but about impact. Drugs sewn into handmade bags, Thai woman caught at airport. Malaysia uncovered a new drug trafficking case at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. A 30-year-old Thai woman was intercepted upon arrival from East Africa. She had sewn 5.22 kilograms of cocaine into the interlayer of a handmade bag in an attempt to smuggle it into the country but was exposed due to an anomaly in the luggage scan. Global Mirror. 1. In 2015, Colombia seized over 1 ton of cocaine disguised as printer toner on a flight to Mexico. 2. In 2024, Taiwan, the United States, Japan, South Korea, and Malaysia jointly dismantled a transnational drug trafficking group that mixed methamphetamine into wine and smuggled it as souvenirs, generating a profit of 18.7 billion new Taiwan dollars. Qingqiao's view. Drug crimes are increasingly showing a life-oriented penetration, with drug dealers using strategies like adulterating printer toner, dissolving drugs in red wine bottles, or sewing drugs into bags. These tactics are blending seamlessly into everyday life. This trend presents a dual challenge to drug control. On the technical level, there's a need for microscopic detection capabilities and a trace substance identification system for common items. On the social level, there's a need to cultivate abnormal identification thinking and weave drug control awareness into the fabric of communities. International oil prices continued to decline, with the main WTI crude oil futures contract closing down 1.99% at $57.13 per barrel, and Brent crude oil futures down 1.73% at $60.23 per barrel. Qingqiao's view. The $60 price level marks a key threshold for global energy investment. According to IEA data, 2023 was the first year renewable energy investment surpassed fossil fuels, signaling a fundamental shift in capital flows. Today's insight. Albanese is nurturing new economic growth under the shadow of resource monopolies. Ukraine is using cheap drones to challenge traditional military dominance. Indonesia is easing growth anxiety through livelihood policies, and falling oil prices signal the rise of new energy disrupting the old order. These seemingly separate global scenes reflect a core theme of civilization's evolution: the enduring struggle between monopoly and innovation. Every rigid system inevitably gives rise to forces that challenge it. When the shade of pine and cypress grows too dense, new grass seeds will seek cracks to break through. For more in-depth analysis, stay tuned to Qingqiao Information.